People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. People, I have said it on several occasions. I am almost tired of saying it. Be very careful with the type of person you get into any sorts of relationship with. Make sure that that person and yourself are compatible. Make sure that that person does not have any sorts of anger management problem. That person is not obsessive. That person is not jealous. That person has sense, rational thinking. I am speaking about an incident that occurred in Manchester, where it is said that a 29-year-old man, his name is Leslie Hilton, he is the suspect, person of interest, more like suspect, in the takeaway of his 28-year-old common law wife, her name Shade or Shadane Brown. Based on the information, there's always been trouble in paradise. This lady asked the man to leave the house, the premises in which she used to live with him, along with a 11 or 12-year-old and then her next little picnic. So therefore, at least 4 of them lived at this residence. Like I said, there has always been all sorts of argument, contention before. However, that day in question, it was amped up. It was taken to the worstest extent. They were arguing, going back and forth in front of the picnic, when this man seems as if premeditatedly reached for a couple of kitchen utensils of the sharp type and commenced to juking up this lady all over her body, right in front of the picnic them. It is even said that he then locked the door. The child, the elder child, commenced to call the po-po. When the po-po them reach, they could not get easy access because he locked the door. Them have to end up a KICK down the door. Man take away himself, gone with our car. The car was later found, abandoned, with the key in the ignition, still running. A couple of hours later, don't know if his conscience said something to him and he had some sort of change of heart, or the po-po them catch him, then put out a full-out alert for him and found him. He is now in the custody of the po-po. Based on the po-po report, it is said that when the po-po entered into the room in which this lady was at, she was clutching on her pillow in a pool of blood. Needless to say, she was indefensible against the strength of this man. This now is his common law wife. That means that they've been in some sorts of relationship for at least 5 years. Don't know what parts of that relationship was good before. But people, whenever you're in any sort of relationship and it ends like that, where one partner has so much hate for that next one, they took them out. People, this is very sad, especially in front of the pit of them, especially when this is a person that people said once loved this lady. It just shows you people can grow apart. However, it is up to you as a rational, well-thinking person that you should not let your anger, should not let your hate drive you to the point in which you take away a next person's life just because you get in your feelings, just because that lady asked you to leave, just because this relationship did not work out in your favor. You are no different than anybody else. People grow apart all the time. People split all the time. There is no sort of guarantee whenever you fall in love, whenever you get in any sort of relationship, that you should take the vow literally until DEATH, do we part. It makes absolutely no sort of sense. But people, like I've always said, always try to choose somebody that you are compatible with. Always get somebody that you can reason with. Somebody that have sense. Somebody that don't have those Tasmanian devil syndrome, that is quick to respond with all sorts of aggression. And most importantly, know when to walk away, know when to run. Always use the song of Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. Know when the situation, you should keep your mouth. Don't fight aggression with aggression, because usually the person with the most anger, the person with the most evilness in their heart, they are always going to do stuff in which they are going to regret later. You do not want to take that chance. Like they always said, prevention is better than cure. So therefore, don't start no ish, won't be no ish. If you pick up ish, you are going to end up with ish. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, coming from out of the files of Dumb and Dumberer, I am speaking about an incident that occurred at the Greater Portmore Popo Station holding cell, in which a 30-year-old man, he was busted for the DUMBES thing possible. It is said that maybe a couple of days ago, there was a search done at that fine penal facility. During that search, they found a ratchet knife, a hacksaw blade, 3 pounds of vegetable matter. You know that is the Bob Marley. 9 chargers, 7 earpiece, 19 cell phones, lighter, all sorts of haberdashery stuff in that one penal institution. It is said that on the night of question, at about 2 a.m., 2 days after that, they saw an individual. That individual was dressed black pants, black shirt, black ski mask. However, that individual had on a red pair of sneakers. Now people, if you are going to go on the job, you want to have the proper uniform, so therefore you can disappear like a black puss in the stealth or the dark of night. However, when you decide that you are going to put on some sorts of red sneakers, it might be a DEAD giveaway for the people that are watching manning this premises. The only thing that could have been worse is if he actually had on one of those red LA gear from back in the days with the light, especially a neon light. Back to the story at hand. That was when the Popo that were doing routine operation, I guess after 2 days before that they found all of this contraband, they was not taking any sort of check. When them hold on upon this man and them see exactly what he had a bag. That bag contained a whole bunch of contraband. It seems as if this man was running some sort of haberdashery. This man had a black market in his bag. It is said that he had 7 cell phones, charger, several boxes of cigarettes, razor blade, vegetable matter, we know exactly what that is. That is cocoa, that is craven cigarette, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. It is also said that that bag contained 2 packs of razor blade, a piece of electrical tape, earpiece. People don't know what is going on in Jamaica. However, what we found is that these criminals, they are getting brazen and more brawling. What would tell a person to leave from Old Harbour, end up all the way in a Portmore? He got a call. Somebody in a jail with some sorts of influence, some sorts of gang member, some sorts of don, made a phone call through one of those contraband phone, and he got a list. Call it a shopping list. So therefore, him call the man as if the man a Amazon, and the Amazon man did some sorts of delivery. However, it was BUSTED. Now, if you remember, like I do, we heard Mr. Samoda, who is in charge of relevant authority for the penal institution, the lockup, said that they are clamping down. They are installing all sorts of cell phone blockers. They are going to make sure that these people that are working at these institutions are properly checked, vetted. No sorts of thief is not going to work there. However, it seems as if people externally is also infiltrating the premises. So we have to ask the question, and this is the reason why we see so many persons escaping out of these fine penal institutions. You're telling me you don't have any sorts of perimeter fencing? The fact that Jamaica is ranked 3 to 5 of the most dangerous place on planet Earth. The fact that you have GUNMEN, MURDERERS, all sorts of menace to society that you're trying to keep out or keep off of the street. But people, it seems as if not only are they broken out of the place, it seems as if people upon the free world is actually broken into the place. And needless to say, Jamaica being the reactive and not the proactive place, the Popo relevant authority says that the third time won't be the charm. People are smuggled before. 2 days later, them catch people with a haberdashery are smuggled into the place again. So they claim that they have put new security measure, and they are warning criminals in the facility and people with aspiration of trading stuff from outside to the people that are inside OC contraband. They are letting you know that they are very serious this time, unlike the time before that and the time after that. If them catch you doing any sorts of trade, doing any sorts of illegal activity, importing, exporting any sorts of contraband into their fine institution, you will be locked up, you will be charged, you will be given the full brunt of the law. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, a place called Golden Spring. We saw that a couple of years ago, it was like the Wild Wild West. But like most places in Jamaica, it has that MOR characteristics of a volcano. It lay dormant for a little while. However, sooner or later, it gets back to the normal, regular schedule. I am speaking about an incident that occurred the other day in which a man, his name is Jermaine Booth. Jermaine Booth is more affectionately known as Papa. He is one of those persons that pack bus in a Golden Spring. Him kinda extorts the minibus and taxi people, bad man thing. Now I don't know if there's any sorts of dispute with his co-workers, Because you know, say, whenever you have a bunch of people like that click up in any sorts of environments, they are always going to clash. It is always going to be show and prove. Everybody want to prove who better than who, and sooner or later, somebody is going to disappear. Somebody is going to have to take away themselves because them get hot. Don't know the details of that. However, it is said that Mr. Boat and some other people were in some sorts of pastry ice cream shop at about 8:20 when some men, 2 men to be specific, pull up in the establishment, wheel and pop off, commence to blazing up several hot corn for Mr. Boat. He was hit up very bad. Based on the Popo report, he was the man that they were targeting. The other persons, they were just bystander. They are unfortunate proceeds of the criminal network. Those persons were rushed to the place of recovery. It is said that the 2 people are in stable condition. Mr. Boat did not get any sort of chance. Them pretty much knock his stuffing out. Them lick out the jelly out of him coconut. Moral of the story is this. Whenever you live any sorts of shaky lifestyle, live on the edge, feel as if you're bad and nobody can do you nothing, and you live in conflict every day, sooner or later the badness is to infinity. As bad as you think you are, somebody out there is going to be better than you. Somebody is going to catch you slipping. So therefore, you need to humble yourself. You need to try to coexist. If you don't coexist, you are going to fail to exist. It is just a law of possibility and probability. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons such as yourself. Bless up.